Hudson County View live and uncut, and I'm your host with Man of the Hour, too sweet to be sour, John Heinis, and we're talking the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. Now, obviously today is election day if you're a resident of the township of North Bergen or the town of West New York. And so we're going to tell you who's on the ballot there, where you could go vote, and things of that nature. A little controversy at the end here. A assemblywoman that's on the ballot in West New York is saying that her mom injured herself after she was harassed by the other side. However, the series team has refuted that, and they've released some video to prove that they didn't commit any wrongdoing. So we're going to show you that clip later. And we're also going to talk a little bit about some happenings in Jersey City. Like, for example, we had a huge union rally yesterday at Journal Square that was near the site of One Journal Square. And you had hundreds of people there talking about worker exploitation. So that's a pretty big one. And there's a lot going on in Hoboken, as we talked about for a while last week. But we're going to talk about what's been going on the public safety realm there. And of course, today we're joined by a guest, as we are most weeks. And today I'm with Michael Griffin, who is a state Senate candidate in the 31st Legislative District. So we're going to talk to him right after this word from our sponsors.
Stevens Jersey City Ford Certified Parts and Service, located at Route 440 and Communipaw Ave, is your #1 source for Ford and Lincoln automotive needs. We use certified Ford Motorcraft products to keep your Ford running in top shape. Motorcraft parts are backed with the Ford warranty, which includes a 2-year unlimited mileage guarantee. Our team will have the right Motorcraft part to ensure the best performance from your Ford or Lincoln. You can order in person at the parts counter or online. Let us help keep your Ford or Lincoln in the best shape at Stevens Jersey City Ford.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-27.
Hudson County View live and uncut, and I'm still your host, John Heinis. And today, as I mentioned a few moments ago, I'm joined with Michael Griffin, and he's a state Senate candidate in the 31st Legislative District. Mike, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me, John.
No problem. So, last time we spoke, the HCDO still hadn't decided on a candidate. Obviously, since then, we've learned that Angela McKnight, the assemblywoman in the district, is going to be running for Senate. And we got Barbara Stamato running for Assembly. She's the JCDO chair. So just tell me how you think about this all shaking out.
Well, I mean, at this point, it is what it is, John. I mean, it's the HDCO. It's an inclusionary organization. Should I say exclusionary organization, right? So, they're never, this organization, well, at least in our experience on the south side of Hudson County, we understand that, they'll never look for, how can I say this?
Fresh blood?
No, not even fresh blood. I mean, it doesn't have to be fresh blood, but like when it comes to people, they'll consider it fighting with them. But when it comes to healthy debate, when it comes to the needs of the community, people fighting for that, they're a little hard pressed to work with those type of candidates because they look at it as a wild card. When that's not necessarily the case, right? You want to make sure that the representation of the constituents are really representing the constituents and their kitchen table issues, and not just you push a button and they do what you say, or a rubber stamp, and it's real important that year after year we have more candidates, Democratic candidates, whether progressive or normal Democrats, to challenge people in these elections. So then now we can hold others accountable because they're going to realize that, there are people out here who can tap at their base. There are people out here who can bring new voters in, right? And that's the fresh blood that we're looking for, the new voters, the people who are curious about what's going on in their community, the people that want to get involved, the people that want to know how things work. And it's very important that, when we get out there, we talk to these people, we talk to these voters, we talk to these constituents and see what their issues are. And, right now, with the HDCO, again, especially on the South Side, it's just all about vote for me, vote for me, vote for me.
Sure. So let's rewind for a moment. When we're talking about those kitchen table issues, obviously people are concerned about the taxes. We're seeing a variety of increases and, depending where you live, but like definitely Jersey City, you've seen some increases in recent years. Those Board of Ed budget actually had a slight decrease, but, between the Board of Ed, the MUA, the City Hall, I meant in MUA, seeing some regular increases. Bayota's had some slight increases as well. What do you tell people about how you could help out on the state level?
Well, on the state level, some of the things we need to do, and we're going to have to hit like all bases, right? Like, for instance, with homeowners, with senior homeowners, right? We want to look at the tax freeze, see if we can increase that percentage, right? Look at the tax code for homeowners and see what we can do to stabilize the taxes and in some cases, decrease them if it's allowed. But most importantly, there are many homeowner programs that are provided by the state that we're not taking advantage of in District 31, and we need to start taking advantage of these programs because now people are able to get their homes fixed. There may be or repaired rather, and they may have some issues with their roofs, some issues with their windows. Get those fixed, and there'll be a 7-year lien. But after that lien, it comes back to them. If they want to sell it, they can sell it. But the important thing is when it comes to home ownership, it's very important that we provide a stable tax code for our homeowners, as well as provide them with the tools needed to rehabilitate their homes.
All right. So on that point, if elected, could you give me 2 or 3 bills you would like to be a lead sponsor on over the State House?
Sure. One would be protecting Liberty State Park. And the other, again, would be looking at, I would want to sponsor a bill to I guess, do a study on taxes. And I would want to increase our state's minimum wage.
What do you think is a good workable minimum wage?
I mean, at this point, I got to tell you, it's not $15. I mean, I would think 17, 18, and that's still not a lot, right? However, we have to hold, these larger corporations accountable for our hardworking people's way of life, right? I mean, affordable housing isn't affordable anymore. Right now, there's an affordable housing project going up in Jersey City and in my community now that we helped the organization get approved with 55% affordable units, which is great. However, it's only 95 units, right? So, we have to make sure that, our constituents are getting paid for what they're worth, right? I mean, it's unfair to work for companies like Amazon, Walmart, Target, like just billion-dollar companies, but you're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to pay. Yet, if you're not there, if people aren't there, it doesn't operate.
Got it. Mike, thanks for that. Hold that thought. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Not everyone celebrates the birth of a baby. You have options. Don't panic. New Jersey has safe havens for unwanted infants. Leave the baby with staff at any hospital, ER, police or fire station, or rescue squad. Call the number on your screen for safe haven locations or go to www.njsafehaven.org. No shame, no blame, no names. Safe Haven.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut. Still John R. Heinis. It's still here with Michael Griffin, and he's a candidate for state senate in the 31st Legislative District. So, Mike, you're
Yes.
obviously on a ticket with a bunch of other progressives. You know what, your running mate, Chanel Smith, and then
Yes.
Alita Little for county executive. And I won't go through them all, but
Right,
you know, you got a diverse group there. And why did you want to be part of this team? And why do you think you guys mesh well together?
Okay, well, first of all, I think that, leading up to, my decision to run for office, right? It was strictly, an independent candidacy, right? And, after meeting with Elena and her team, I really started thinking about, what a progressive Democrat is, right? And, my advocacy for a long time, I mean, if you look at the definition, has been progressive, right? Whether it's advocating for social justice, economic justice, affordability. And also, having, when you're going up against an organization, right, in a primary and on a ticketed ballot, you want to be more organized, and you want to have a team as well where, you support each other instead of just being all over the place. And so, I decided to go ahead and work with them and be a team member. And, the Progressive Democratic Organization has been a very good organization to work with. We align in a lot of ideology, like whether it's affordable housing, whether it's the protection of Liberty State Park, lowering taxes, small business incentives, redevelopment versus gentrification, the RTC. So there's a lot of things that we align with that are specifically for the people of District 31 and Hudson County as a whole.
Okay, very good. Now, about RTC, obviously that got delayed a little. Probably won't see that till the end of the month at the earliest. But is that something you would like to see emulated on the state level?
I think that would be a great idea, right? Because, we're not the only ones that are going through this issue, right? I have family in Atlantic City, all throughout the state that are noticing whether it's them or friends of theirs who are getting rent increases, and yet they can't afford representation, right? Especially when it's unfair.
Got it. Okay. Now, also, when we're talking protections on Liberty State Park, what do you have in mind? I assume part of it is to preserve Cave and Point, but beyond
Absolutely. That. I mean, you want to preserve Cave and Point, and I saw some of the plans that were proposed, right? And Jersey City and District 31, but Jersey City for the most part is an urban environment, right? So you have a lot of homeowners, a lot of renters, small backyards, no backyards, may have small apartments. And so with Liberty State Park, as I was going through the park Sunday, I just noticed all of these people out there having their events in the open space, right? Whether they were riding bikes, whether there were children in the playground, there were a few people having birthday parties. I saw a baby shower, right? So, you know, and we already get like 5 million visitors a year through Liberty State Park. So, you know, the open space concept, you know, it should remain, right? Now, do we need recreation? Absolutely. We can do open space recreation. As I was walking through, I saw some tennis courts that can be rehabilitated, right? And there's space for, you know, other things for recreation. However, you know, brick and mortar, like when we talk about like arenas and coliseums and things like that, I think it's unnecessary, especially for a state park. So, you know, we have to take all of that into account, right? We want to make sure that the park remains inclusive.
Okay, yeah, no, I could see that. Now, before you go, just wanted to quickly get you on mass transit, you know, something that a bunch of your running mates have mentioned on this program. And just what do you think could be done from your perspective if you were elected?
Well, it is vital for South Hudson and West Hudson to have mass transportation. Of course, a study would have to be done, but when you look at it from a common sense point of view, when you have a main vein like Kennedy Boulevard that goes through the entire county, that's, you know, a possibility where you can have a really great mass transit operation there. You know, I mean, the light rail, that would take some more time because, you know, of course, you know, having tracks and things like that. But right now, I think like just a mass transit busing system through our main vein would be great.
Rapid bus transit?
Rapid, right? Absolutely. Because what happens is now, you know, you're giving people on the south side of the county more options to travel, right? I mean, yes, you have, what, two light rail stations in Bayonne, maybe, you know, and then, you know, the light rails in Jersey City basically goes, it's just west,
yeah.
east-west, right? And I mean, it'll eventually go north, but that's when it gets downtown, right? And, you know, the distance between, let's say, the MLK Drive station to Journal Square, it's, you know, it's a road to travel. So, you know, mass transit, just to help people get around, right? Because you can't, you know, you can't be the second largest city in any state without having proper transportation to get people around, especially when, you know, many of these neighborhoods are like food deserts. And until, you know, we catch up with that, you know, bringing markets and things like that into these communities and walking distance and making our neighborhoods walkable, mass transit is the way to go. And rapid transit.
Mike, thanks for joining me.
You got it. Thank you.
We'll certainly be talking to you in the next month. Ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in. We're not done yet. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
This thing rips! Oh, it is so quick. There's a lot of punch packed into this Bronco Sport. It's got a ton of horsepower. I love it. All right, now we're getting hairy. Now we're getting the fun stuff. Yeah. I like how we can get over or around almost anything.
Yeah, I dig your ride. Super dig it. It's gonna be a good day.
Growing up can be tough on kids. So much is going on in the world that can cause depression or anxiety. Unusual behavior for more than 6 months could mean they need help. Don't wait. For real-time mental health support and counseling, call New Jersey's Children's System of Care. CSOC offers free mental health supports, substance use treatment, and services for intellectual or developmental disabilities for all kids up to age 21. Call now, 1-877-652-7624.
Introducing the all-new Ford Maverick. A truck for people who do stuff. And people who make stuff. People like Gabrielle Union.
I make this look good, don't I?
Who haul whatever they want to wherever they want. Like wood to build things made of wood with. And friends to get weird with. It's for long trips that the standard hybrid engine with a targeted EPA estimated city fuel economy rating of 40 miles per gallon helps with. That an 8-inch touchscreen connects with. And any trip that this interior makes more comfortable. But we'll let Gabrielle tell you all about it.
Or I could just tell them it's a Ford truck that starts at less than $20,000 MSRP.
Yep, that works too. The all-new Ford Maverick. Built to defy expectations.
Hudson County View live at Utgut, John R. Heinis. As everyone, or hopefully everyone in North Hudson knows today, it is election day again, and we got two nonpartisan races, one in North Bergen and one in West New York. Now, you got a rematch in North Bergen, and you have a totally new dynamic in West New York. So let's start there. A lot of people are calling this the premier matchup, if you will, of May 9th. And the reason being is you have Albio Series, and he was a long-standing congressman and also a former assembly speaker, looking to return to his old job as mayor, but not without a spirited challenge from Public Affairs Commissioner Cosmo Cirillo. Series ticket is simply called the Series Team for West New York, while Cirillo's ticket is called West New York Forward. Now, so just to take a quick look at what's going on so far, we had early voting in West New York on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And overall, and this is as of about 4 p.m. yesterday, we have 1,178 people who voted early and about 1,650 vote by mail ballots. So on track for 3,000 before Election Day, and that was according to Hudson County Board of Elections Clerk Michael Harper. Wrote about this yesterday. Now, typically, you don't see a commissioner candidate ever hit 4,000 votes. And interestingly, West New York has 24,000 registered voters as of January. So leaving a lot of points on the field, so to speak, there historically. But this is a different kind of race, as I just talked about for a little bit. And maybe that'll change things. Maybe we'll see 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people vote today. More than likely, though, it's probably going to be more 1,500, 2,000 range. But look, that all remains to be seen, and that all is up to, obviously, the respective teams to get their votes out. Now, just in case you needed a quick refresher, on the series team, you have Parks and Public Property Commissioner Victor Barrera. You have two former Board of Education trustees, Adam Parkinson, who was on the long-serving president, as well as Marielka Diaz, and then rounding out the ticket is Marcos Arroyo, which is a bit of a wild card, just given that he was the Republican that ran for Congress. Actually, he was running for Series' old seat in the 8th District, and he ended up losing to Rob Menendez, who was the Democrat in the race, and of course, he's the son of U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, and he had the endorsement of Series. So kind of a unusual dynamic there, but that's what it is. And then you have West New York Forward, as I already said, Cirillo's team. And there he's joined by Revenue and Finance Commissioner Margarita Guzman, the outgoing Assemblywoman Angelica Jimenez, and you have two new candidates, and that's Hiram Gonzalez and also Walter Lopez. Now, you have West New York Forward on column A. You have Cirillo at 1, Guzman at 2, Jimenez at 3, Lopez at 4, Gonzalez at 5. And then column B, you have Series at 1, Barrera at 2, Parkinson at 3, Diaz 4, Arroyo at 5. Now, it's not a heck of a lot to talk about in the North Bergen race that we haven't spoke about already. So, I'll just briefly tell you who's on the ballot here. And so in column A, you have Larry Weinstein. He's running for the third time. He's a business owner that has a property in Franklin Lakes, and this has led to a lot of attacks over the years from the Saco team that he's not a true North Bergen resident. Nonetheless, they've never challenged his residency, and they've never attempted to get him kicked off the ballot. The first time that he faced Saco, it was about a 2-to-1 margin, something in the neighborhood of like 66-34. And then in 2019, when they rematched, Saco won by about 69-31 margin. So obviously he's going to hope to improve upon that today, while Weinstein, of course, is hoping to shock the world. Weinstein's at 1A, Lucy Rodriguez is 2A, and then 3 is Tony Perales, Alcide Siri is 4, and Franklin Fabre is 5th. And then on column B, you have the incumbent team, and that's Mayor Saco. Nicholas J. Saco is what it says on the ballot. Then you got Hugo D. Cabrera, the Commissioner of Parks and Public Property. Claudia Rodriguez, she's a Board of Education trustee. Palin Pasquale, the Public Safety Commissioner, and Anthony P. Veneri Jr. You probably just know him as Anthony Veneri. Until recently, he was the Hudson County Board of Commissioners chair. Then he was tied for the longest serving chair with Sal Vega, a former West New York mayor and assembly speaker. They both had 6 terms. And he ended up resigning a few weeks ago in anticipation of this race. Obviously, he's a guy that would like to be the mayor of North Bergen someday. And this is the first time he would hold municipal office. Other than that, this has been an unusually expensive race. I mean, we've talked about this before, but just to touch on it briefly, we've seen Larry Weinstein, between loans and between in-kind expenditures, we're talking over $550,000, could be approaching $600,000, but it was about $551 on the last ELEC report. But I mean, it's probably over $600 today. And the Saco team, they weren't shy about raising funds either. I mean, they got probably $400,000 coming in this election cycle. So this is, despite this not being a very public battle, this is something that has ended up being quite expensive. So, we're going to see where this goes. But other than that, there's not too much else to say. I mean, the polls are open till 8 p.m. If you're unsure of your polling location, you could go right on that Hudson County Clerk website. And if you just click down on the May municipal races, that'll help guide you to what you need. But, there's really, in these two relatively small towns, 50 to 60,000 residents approximately, it's not hard to find. I mean, if you just literally turn down your block and walk for 2 or 3 blocks, you're going to find a polling location in all likelihood. So, and also if you're interested in voting, I think there's a pretty good chance that you've already identified your poll location and that you, or sent in your vote by mail ballot or voted early. So obviously we're going to keep tabs on that. We're going to give you an update at about midday. And until then, we're going to take another word from our sponsors.
Stevens Jersey City Ford Certified Parts and Service, located at Route 440 and Communipaw Ave, is your #1 source for Ford and Lincoln automotive needs. We use certified Ford Motorcraft products to keep your Ford running in top shape. Motorcraft parts are backed with the Ford warranty, which includes a 2-year unlimited mileage guarantee. Our team will have the right Motorcraft part to ensure the best performance from your Ford or Lincoln. You can order in person at the parts counter or online. Let us help keep your Ford or Lincoln in the best shape at Stevens Jersey City Ford.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Hudson County View, live and uncut. John R. Heinis. So just real quick, away from election stuff, there's a bunch of Jersey City and Hoboken things we wanted to touch on, but we're just going to end on this. So there was a big protest at 1 Journal Square, that's 10 Journal Square in Jersey City. That's a project from Kushner Companies. It's valued at nearly $1 billion. And you had workers from LUDA, and of course they're one of the largest labor unions in the state, actually probably even the region. That's Laborers International Union in North America. Huge rally, minimum of 300 people. I have some LUDA officials telling me it was upwards of 500. and they were protesting that One Journal Square project, as well as LaFrax, the wave development. They were claiming immigrant workers were exploited, as well as that there was wage theft. And obviously, they're saying they're going to fight this till the bitter end. And we heard from LaFrac. They said this was a subcontractor of a subcontractor. Basically, we don't know what's going on. So not going to get into detail. Like I said, we got quite a few things to touch on before the end, but I thought that was really interesting. One of the biggest labor actions I've ever seen in the county. So I think that's something you'll be interested in. Check it out. Now, one of the biggest stories in the country right now, switching gears, is this situation with Jordan Neely, the homeless man, a former Bayonne resident who got strangled to death on the subway. We heard from Reverend Alexander Santora, the pastor at the Church of Our Lady of Grace in Hoboken, and he had a take that many people were not really delighted with. He said Neely's stance was threatening on the subway, already punched, injured 2 senior citizens, and warrant out for his arrest. This is not racial. It's protecting innocent riders when no police are present. He restrained him. Sad he died. Neely was out of line. Adams is right, talking about New York City Mayor Eric Adams. And, in case you've just completely tuned out from national news, Neely was having a mental episode on the F train in Lower Manhattan around 2:30 p.m. last Monday before a former Marine, that's Daniel Petty, placed him in a rear naked choke for nearly 15 minutes. And the coroner's office, the medical examiner's office, has ruled his death to be a homicide via strangulation. So, finally, let's get back to West New York. Now, like I said, this has been a pretty quiet and respectful race, which is boring by Hudson County standards, but nonetheless, in the 11th hour, we got this. Assemblywoman Jimenez said that her mother was working a poll location on early voting on Saturday. She was in her car. She claimed the series team was banging on the windows, banging on the hood, and she got out of fear for her safety, and she fell down, and she injured her face, had like a little bruise on her chin. It looked like she had a black and blue right on her lip. Now, the series team came back and they said this is a complete fabrication. That's not what happened at all. And they've released some videos, so we're going to show you that. Best of luck to everyone on the ballot in North Bergen and West New York. We're going to have those results for you as soon as we can after the polls close at 8 o'clock. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for watching Hudson Media Group. Follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.